Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to break down a therapy that's making its way from wellness centers right into mainstream hospitals.
Now, you've probably heard of it. It's a practice that's often used as a complementary therapy, right? To help with everything from, day-to-day stress all the way to the side effects of cancer treatment. And what's really striking about it is its simplicity. I mean, it requires no drugs, no surgery, and no fancy equipment. It relies on one of the most basic human actions, touch.
So what exactly is this healing practice called Reiki? Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to deconstruct what Reiki is, what it isn't, and importantly, what the science has to say about it.
All right, so what is Reiki? Well, the name itself actually gives us our first big clue.
So, Reiki is a Japanese therapy, and the word is a combination of two characters. You have Rei, which means universal, and Ki, which means life force energy. The whole practice is based on this belief that a practitioner can channel this universal life energy to someone to help stimulate their body's own healing abilities.
So, okay, what does this actually look like in practice? I mean, if you were to go for a session, what should you expect? What's going to happen?
Well, first off, you get comfortable. You'll just sit or lie down, and you stay fully clothed. Then, the practitioner gently places their hands in about 12 to 15 different positions, either right on your body or just hovering slightly above it. They hold each position for a few minutes, focusing on what they believe is clearing energy blockages. The whole session can last anywhere from 30 to 90 minutes. It's a really passive experience for you. There's no massage or anything like that, just a light, still touch in a really calm, quiet environment.
So what might you feel during all this? Well, people report all sorts of things, but the most common feelings are this deep sense of relaxation and warmth. Some people describe it as a peaceful glow, and it's not uncommon at all for people to get so relaxed that they actually doze off during the session. Now, some also report things like temporary headaches or fatigue afterwards, which practitioners say is just the body releasing toxins. And this is where it gets really interesting. The practice isn't even limited by physical presence. There's this core concept called distance healing. Practitioners believe they can actually send this healing energy to a person or even to a past trauma or a future event, no matter where they are in the world. It's this idea that the energy can transcend time and space.
So this whole idea of sending energy, it brings us right to the heart of it all. This central concept of an invisible life force called Ki.
Now, you might have heard of this concept by other names like Qi in Chinese tradition or Prana in Asian cultures, but the idea is basically the same. It's this non-physical energy that gives life to, well, every living thing. And the theory goes that when this life force energy is low or blocked, we're way more likely to get sick or feel stressed. But when it's high and flowing freely, we're much more capable of being happy and healthy.
I love this analogy from Hayao Takada, who was the Reiki master that brought the practice to the West. She said, Reiki is similar to radio waves. We cannot see them, but we know they are everywhere around us. When we turn on a radio and tune into the radio waves, we can pick up a signal. So a practitioner, in this sense, is kind of like a radio, just tuning into a specific frequency.
So where did modern Reiki come from? Well, its journey from early 20th century Japan to the rest of the world is really thanks to these three key figures. It starts in 1922 with the founder, Mikao Usui, who developed the system after a mystical experience. Then his student, Chujiro Hayashi, developed the system of hand positions we use today. And finally, Hayao Takada was healed at Hayashi's clinic and brought it all to the United States, training the first masters here and allowing it to spread across the globe.
But for the founder, Mikao Usui, Reiki wasn't just a healing technique. He taught that it was a whole philosophy for living, and it was guided by 5 core principles.
And what's so powerful about them is how they start. Every single one begins with the phrase, just for today. That makes it a really manageable, daily practice of mindfulness. It starts with this simple but honestly profound idea. Just for today, do not worry. It's not about never worrying again, just for today. And when you look at all 5 of them together, just for today, do not anger, do not worry, be grateful, work honestly, and be kind to all living things. These precepts really form the spiritual and moral foundation of the practice. They're not supposed to be rigid rules, They're more like daily intentions, a way to cultivate that inner peace and balance, one day at a time.
Okay, so this all sounds really fascinating, right? But it brings us to the big question on a lot of people's minds. Does it actually work? What does the research suggest? Let's take a look at the data.
So a major meta-analysis was published by the NIH, and what that means is they took a bunch of different studies,
in this case 11 of them, and analyzed all the data together. So we're talking about a total of 661 participants here.
And what did they find? Well, the conclusion was pretty clear. The analysis, and I'm quoting here, demonstrated a marked enhancement in the quality of life among individuals who received Reiki therapy when compared to control groups. So it found a statistically significant improvement.
And this result really lines up with a lot of other studies and what doctors are observing in clinics. It seems Reiki can be a really helpful complementary therapy. It's been shown to help reduce stress and anxiety, ease some symptoms of depression, and even help with things like pain and fatigue for people undergoing cancer treatment.
So this leaves us at a really fascinating place, right? It's this intersection of belief, of ancient practice, and of actual measurable outcomes.
Because here's the thing. We don't know for sure how it works. Is it an actual invisible energy? Is it the power of intention? Or is it the profound therapeutic effect of simple, compassionate human touch? Maybe it's a combination. And that leaves us with this big, open question for everyone, skeptics and believers alike. For the people who find real relief from this, does the mechanism matter more than the outcome? Something to think about.